at this time. Joining me now live in the studio, as always, is IBrand Senior Analyst Charles Frakuga, who joins me now live to do some analysis of the story. Charles, good morning. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Good morning, blessed. It's always a pleasure to be on this show.
All right, so you see some of the stories we're filing at this time, and I believe that some of them will be worrisome to you, while some of them will also be good news to you. But let's start off first with this first story. I'm really concerned. I was really concerned when I saw the story about state government and LGAs indebtedness to commercial banks to the tune of 2.2 trillion naira for the first quarter of this year alone.
Yeah.
Charles, if we keep having this figure on the increase, what will be the future of Nigerian commercial banks?
Well, you have said it. The state government, local government, this is what they are owing. But first of all, I want to thank DMO for ensuring that these records are kept. Because in the past, there will have been no record. Then coming to the commercial banks, I mean, they have shareholders to give dividend to. And if they are advancing credits and they are not sure of how they are going to collect, then we keep telling us of non-performing loans and all that. Of course, even in their operations, there are guidelines as to how they will operate when it comes to non-performing loans. So for me, I don't have any fear.
Okay.
As long as the banks are operating using CBN regulation. So, and if they are going to go against that, of course, there are sanctions for them. Then coming to the government themselves, well, yes, we say credit is good, but I keep saying he who goes borrowing goes sorrowing. So you need to ensure that when you are taking a facility, it is something that will yield returns for you. Yes, we know that at a point in time, they might not have all the funds to do what they want to do. So they go for those credit. Again, it should be used for the purpose in which it is meant for. But before I go further, we've seen some state government, even past governors, and today they are still walking around. We've seen the problems they have put in their states into. But we also see some good ones too. In fact, there was one that was somewhere in Plateau State, Mangu, visiting those brothers and sisters that were being killed there, and he donated some money to them, even bag of rice. I will not mention the name of that governor, but he has done quite well. So if that particular governor, during his tenure, we could see what he did. Now, these ones that are still in office, and we are seeing all these debts, the issue is, let the citizen, that is, I call it office of the citizen, which is the highest office of the land, they should begin to ask question. You have elected representatives, because you see this debt they have taken, it's not only the governor that's taking it, or his cabinet members, or only the state house of assembly. No, it is everybody. Like, let's take Delta State for example now. My grandmother who goes to the farm, my uncle who go and tap palm wine or cut banga in the bush, they all have agreed for these monies to be taken, because through their elected state houses of assembly.
Okay.
So if they are not satisfied, then they should vote those members out. But they need to connect it.
Okay.
And that's why people like us,
yes,
people like us are always in those rural areas, letting them know that it is not on election day. You collect 3,000 naira. You vote in the primary school, collect 3,000 naira. You go to the water side and you sign, they give you 3,000 naira. No. We are complaining of this debt now. I mean, I can feel the pains of the pensioners.
Yeah, because I was about going that, and they are saying that they are not feeling the impact of this.
That is where
debt.
I'm going into. You borrow so much money, and we're not even seeing even the physical infrastructure. I don't want to go into too much infrastructure, but for me, that is not an issue now. The physical infrastructure that will kickstart investment and development, we're not even seeing it. Yes, they will show us one or two things, but I must tell you, I don't want to particularly on Delta states. All the states generally have not seen real development to show for this amount of debt we are having.
Okay, Charles, before we move to the next story now, I have this question begging for answer now, and it is for states that are underperforming in terms of internally generated revenue, how do you think they will have the capacity to repay their loans?
Okay, I was even coming to that. Most of these states, they don't even generate. And you begin to wonder, because if you canvass to be a governor of a state, you should have an economic blueprint. You should be thinking of how you are going to raise money to fund your project, not necessarily, taxing the people unnecessarily. Now, some of them, with due respect, don't have any economic blueprint. I'm even sorry to say, even the national government, as we speak today, yes, I cannot see any clear-cut economic blueprint.
But is it not hasty for us to start judging that the government at the end of the national affairs do not have a blueprint for the country, for a government that has spent less than 3 months in office?
It is not. Blessed, I'm a teacher. If you want to teach, what I will teach for the semester, for the term, I already have my outline. I already know at week 1 what I'm supposed to achieve,
but they give us,
what the students are supposed to know.
But they gave us an economy of renewed hope. So we're seeing everything coming out into play. There's a removal of few subsidies, flouting of the naira, to bring about a unification of the exchange rate. And there seem to be some other fundamentals also towards this. Is that not enough blueprint?
But we need to see, like, if you want to build a house, we need to see the plan. We need to see the plan, the end product. They should have the philosophy behind all these policies they are making. We need to see it.
But they showed that to you during renewed
hope. Yes, and that's why some of us, that's why some of us, say, okay, even though I had a choice, it's not a force that I must vote for this particular candidate. But we said Nigerians have elected him. We decided to support, and we're going to support him, of course. And that's what we're doing now. So we want to put them on their toes so that we see all those economic blueprints. We want to see it clearly. Okay. But let's go back to the state government. What they should do, they should not go cap in hand begging for allocation. But we keep hearing that, is it fact now?
Yeah, fact.
They've shared money and they are all happy. But I want to see, if I say I'm a governor of a state, like tomorrow I can become the local government chairman of my local government, before I get into office, I would have assembled a team of young men and women that will say, this is I think we want to do. This is where we want to go. This is how we are going to get the funding. We should not be dependent solely on federal allocation or money that we are going to share. That is also very good, as long as we deserve it, especially for those who are from environmentally challenged area. They get that derivation. But for any government, you must have a blueprint as to how you are going to increase your revenue and generate money to fund your